Today, I'll not answer the radio call that your boyfriend has come home drunk and is beating you again. Today, I'll not answer the radio call that your 16-year-old daughter, who is very responsible, is 4 hours late coming home from school. I will not care today that your store has been robbed or your house has been burglarized. Today, I'll not stop a drunk driver from killing someone. Also today, I'll not catch a rapist or a murderer or a car thief. And today, I will not respond to a call that a man has a gun or tried to abduct a child, or that someone has been stabbed or has been in a terrible accident. Today, I'll not save your child that you locked in the car, or the child you were too busy to watch who went outside and fell in the swimming pool. No. Today, I'll not do these things. Why? Because today I was killed by a drunk driver while I was pushing a disabled car off the highway. Today, I was shot and killed doing a routine traffic stop simply to tell someone they had a taillight out. Today, I was killed in a traffic accident while rushing to a citizen who was screaming for help. I was shot and killed today serving a warrant on a known drug dealer. Today, I was killed by a man when I went to his home to do a welfare check because his family was too busy. Today, I was killed trying to stop a bank robbery or a grocery store robbery. Today, I was killed doing my job. A chaplain and an officer will go to a house and tell a family that their son or daughter, or husband or wife or father or mother won't be coming home today. The flags at many police stations will be flown at half-mast today, but most people won't know why. There'll be a funeral, and my fellow officers will come. A 21-gun salute will be given, and taps will be played as I'm laid to rest. My name will be put on a plaque, on a wall, in a building in a city somewhere. A folded flag will be placed on a mantle or a bookcase in a home, and a family will mourn. There'll be no cries for justice. There'll be no riots in the street. There'll be no one marching screaming the words, "No justice, no peace." No citizens will be outraged, claiming that something must be done. No windows will be smashed, no cars burned, no rocks thrown, and no names called. Someone crying themselves to sleep tonight will be the only sign that I was cared about. I was a police officer.
Here's calls 120, 21, 28, code 3, 1035 West Lexington at Home Depot.
118, tell this my family hello.
I can't copy.
118, tell my family hello. Yeah.
We got crews coming. I'm getting medical. Any available crews go. All available crews go.
And I take it personally, okay? We're going up there and there's a bunch of cops processing a scene of a dead kid. And they're the ones that are going to be out there patrolling and stopping suspects that may have guns under the front seat. They're the ones that are going to take the risks of their lives to try to clean this thing up. All right? We're responsible for the things we get wrong and we take action. We've arrested cops, we've fired cops, and so on. But the fact is that the people out here, some of them, who had the most to say are absolutely MIA when it comes to the true threats facing this community, and it gets a little tiresome, and we start getting yelled at for reading the updates of the kid that got shot. Yeah, you take it personal, okay? Now, no offense, but I'm going up there now.
When people ask how I'm doing, I want to say my depression is an angry deity, a jealous God, a thirsty shadow that wrings my joy like a dish rag and makes juice out of my smile. I want to say getting out of bed has become a magic trick and I'm probably the worst magician I know. I want to say this sadness is the only clean shirt I have left and my washing machine has been broken for months. But I'd rather not ruin someone's day with my tragic honesty. So instead, I treat my face like a pumpkin. I pretend it's Halloween. I carve it into something acceptable. I laugh and say, I'm doing all right.
Today,
Well, welcome to Motor Cop Chronicles podcast. If you haven't guessed, unfortunately, it's the beginning of the month. And unfortunately, there are still names we have to read out. We had 9 last month. We have 9 again this month. Like I said, my hope is one day I open it up and there are a 0. So, pay our respects for the fallen men and women that paid the ultimate sacrifice, protecting and serving, doing what they love, and we'll say their names. I'm going to start off with police officer Andreas M. Vasquez Lasso from the Chicago Police Department in Illinois. End of watch was Wednesday, March the 1st. Cause of death was gunfire. He was 32 years old. He had 5 years on the job. Officer Andres was shot and killed while responding to a domestic incident at 4:45 p.m. The officers were responding to a call about a man chasing a woman down the street with a gun. One group of officers went to the residence while the other officers located the subject on foot. They were able to engage with the subject, but he fled from the officers. Shots were exchanged, and Officer Vasquez pursued the subject, and both were wounded. Officer Vasquez was transported to the hospital where he succumbed to his wounds. The subject was taken to the hospital in a critical condition. Officer Vasquez had served with the Chicago Police Department for 5 years. He was assigned to the 8th District. He is survived by his wife, his mother, and his sister. 32 years old, young man, only 5 years on the job. Next, there was Master Trooper James R. Bailey from the Indiana State Police in Indiana. End of watch was March the 3rd, 2023. Cause of death was vehicular assault. Master Trooper James Bailey was 50 years old. He had 15 years, 6 months on the job. He was struck and killed by a fleeing vehicle on Interstate 69 while attempting to deploy spike strips at 4:30 in the afternoon. Trooper Bailey was performing traffic control duties as a result of several crashes on the interstate when he was notified of a vehicle pursuit involving a Fort Wayne Police Department vehicle. The pursuit entered on I-69 towards Trooper Bailey's location. The fleeing vehicle was traveling at a high rate of speed and struck Trooper Bailey as he attempted to deploy spike strips near mile marker 326. He was transported to a nearby hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. The driver who struck him was arrested and charged with murder, felony resisting law enforcement, felony operating of a controlled dangerous substance resulting in death, and misdemeanor resisting law enforcement. Trooper Bailey had served with the Indiana State Police for 15 and a half years. He's survived by his wife, his son, and his daughter. Next, we have Detective Sergeant Mason Griffith of the Herman Police Department in Missouri. End of watch was Sunday, March the 12th, 2023. Cause of death was gunfire. He was 34 years old, had 12 years on the job. He was shot and killed at Casey's convenience store on Highway 19 in Herman around 9:30 p.m. Sergeant Griffith and another officer were responding to a disturbance at the convenience store. When the officers arrived, a shootout occurred. Both officers were shot. One officer was in serious but stable condition. Sergeant Griffith succumbed to his injuries at the area hospital. The subject shot both officers and fled the scene. He has a long history of criminal charges with multiple outstanding felony warrants. Additionally, there was a warrant for his arrest for not showing up to court in 2022. He had barricaded himself in a home near the shooting and was taken into custody the next day at 2 p.m. by a Missouri Highway Patrol SWAT team. He has been charged with murder, first degree, assault first degree, serious physical injury, or special victim, 2 counts of armed criminal action, 1 count of unlawful possession of a firearm. Sergeant Mason served with the Herman Police Department for 12 years and was the part-time chief of the police of Rosebud Police Department and a reserve deputy sheriff of the Glasscock County Sheriff's Office. He is survived by his wife, his 2 sons, his mother, and his father. Next, we have Deputy Sheriff Jeremy McCain, Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office in Oklahoma. End of watch was Monday, March the 20th at 2023. He was 36 years old, 11 years on the job. Cause of death was an automobile crash. Deputy Sheriff Jeremy McCain succumbed to his injuries received when his patrol car struck a gate at the Oklahoma Christian School. He was leaving the school campus when his patrol vehicle struck a partially open gate while driving less than 10 miles an hour. The gate crashed through his front windshield and pinned him in the vehicle. He was transported to the hospital where he succumbed to his injuries 10 days later. He is survived by his son. Next, we have Patrolman Joseph Barlow, McAllister Police Department in Oklahoma. End of watch was March the 20th, 2023. He was 26 years old, 1 year, 7 months on the job, also a military veteran. Automobile accident was the reason he died. He succumbed to his injuries received on March the 17th when he was struck head-on while escorting a funeral procession for a member of his department who had passed away. The procession was traveling on Highway 75 when the pickup truck crossed the center line and struck his patrol car head-on. He was transported to a local hospital where he succumbed to his injuries 3 days later. The driver of the truck was arrested and charged with causing an accident without a driver's license, reckless driving, and causing great bodily injury. First-degree manslaughter was charged after Patrolman Barlow passed away. He was a United States Army veteran. He served the police department for 1 year. He is survived by his wife, his toddler son, and his mother. Very young man. Next, we're gonna take a little interlude and then finish off the rest of them.
I'll be on East Green, right outside Henry County, 911 dispatch.
321 status. Central 321 status check. Clinton car 21's not moving. His vehicle's still parked. Central all county units.
100 block East Green, 100 block East Green, a black SUV fled from the scene. A black SUV fled from the scene.
It was a warm August night, strapped in his vest. The badge of his honor pinned to his chest. 321 called a traffic stop. He stepped at the car, not a second thought. Seconds went by. All that we heard was officer down. The blood of the blue runs through this town. The memory survives through all of us now. It's hard to believe he's not around. We'll never forget this officer down. May of 16 we walked the aisle. Uniforms on, wearing that smile. 321, God bless your soul. Take it from here while you go home. Days go by, and all that we hear is officer down. Blood of the blue runs through this town. Memory survives through all of us now. It's hard to believe he's not around. We'll never forget this officer down. Warm August night, strapped in his vest. Badge of his honor pinned to his chest.
All right. Y'all might have heard me talk about this other one, this one already. This next two happened close to home, and I knew this next guy personally when he first started his career. We have Sergeant David Poirier from the Baton Rouge Police Department. End of watch was Sunday, March 26, 2023. He was 47 years old. He had 17 years on the job. Aircraft accident. Him and the next one we're going to talk about, Corporal Scotty Canizero, were killed in a helicopter crash in the field in Irwinville about 2:26 a.m. They were in a Robinson R-44 helicopter. They were assisting in the pursuit of a fleeing vehicle around 2 a.m. The chase was called off. Vehicle was everybody lost sight of them. They were going to return back. What we're assuming, this right here is incorrect on here. It says the helicopter's tail rotor struck a tree. It did not hit a tree. Right now, it's still unknown the cause of the crash, but he had served with the department for 17 years and was assigned to the air support unit. Before that, he had worked for a different agency also. They don't say who he was survived by or anything like that. Next, we have Corporal Scotty Canizero. They were partners. End of watch was March 26, 2023. He was 38 years old, had 16 years on the job. Same details also. Nothing about I believe he was married and had one son that I know of. So we did escort on them earlier in the week. Next, we have Police Officer Garrett Crumby of the Huntsville Police Department in Alabama. End of watch was Tuesday, March the 28th. He was 36 years old, had 11 years on the job. Cause of death was gunfire. Officer Garrett was shot and killed while responding to a shots fired call in the 4600 block of Governor's House Drive, 4:45 p.m. in the afternoon. A female he called 911 and reported that she had been shot. When Officer Crumby and other officers responded, they were ambushed by the subject. Both officers were transported to Huntsville Hospital, where Officer Crumby succumbed to his wounds. The other officer remains in critical condition. The subject was taken into custody and charged with capital murder of a police officer. He had served with the Huntsville Police Department for 3 years and had previously served with the Tuscaloosa Police Department for 8 years. He is survived by his wife, his mother, father, and 3 sisters. We have the last one for the month is Police Officer Tim Unen or Uwin of Springfield Township Police Department in Ohio. End of watch was Friday, March the 31st. He was 31 years old, had 4 years on the job. Automobile crash. Officer Tim was killed in a vehicle crash at the intersection of Hamilton Avenue and Center Ridge Avenue in North College Hill. He was responding to an officer needs assistance call when his patrol car collided with another vehicle shortly after midnight. Officers from multiple jurisdictions were responding to the call when this crash occurred. The driver of the vehicle was also killed in the crash. He had served with the Springfield Township Police Department for 2 years and had previously served with the Hamilton Police Department for 2 years. We had one K9 Lennon from Baytown Police Department, Texas. End of watch was Thursday, March the 9th. Belgian Malinois German Shepherd mix. He was a male. He was 2 years old. He had been on the job for 7 months. He died after suffering a bite from a venomous snake while conducting a training exercise. His handler rushed him to the veterinary specialist, where he succumbed to the effects of the snake bite. He was an explosive ordnance detection canine and was credited with locating numerous firearms and shell casings during evidence searches. He won the top bomb dog award, second place for bomb scramble, and third place for bomb vehicles in Alabama just this past February. He had only been on the job for 7 months. That's thank goodness that's all for this month. I'm hoping to get less. Hope everybody keeps these individuals and their families in their heart and prayers. Like I said, they all died protected and serving, paid the ultimate sacrifice for other people. Just give them the respect they do. Y'all go in peace, brothers and sisters. We got it from here. Y'all did y'all's job. Hopefully we won't have that many names to read about next month. Y'all be safe.
Some have said that time heals, but gathered together here today, we know that's not true. The facts still remain. The empty chair, the unfulfilled dreams, the pain, the hurt, the loneliness. We ask your blessing upon the families who have been impacted by the loss of a loved one in the line of duty.
to pledge your life in the words you spoke for people that don't care or even know you. You trained for months, now it's time to go out on the streets where we all know the danger and the hatred makes it to you. Chest to symbolize duty for the rest, to keep them safe at night when safety fools you. You pulled a man from his burning car, but his child who died has left a scar. You live with that for life, but no one helps you.
Procession given to honor her this morning. Her body was taken from the medical examiner's office in Norfolk in Newport News. So many people gathered to show their respect. Just look at how they lined the streets of downtown Norfolk. And at just 24 years old, Officer Tyne died in the line of duty on Thursday evening. It happened during a traffic stop on 16th Street in Newport News. She began talking to the driver of a car. She and one other officer had pulled over. The driver, Vernon Green, had his car door open while they were talking. He suddenly took off, and Tyne was not able to step out of the way in time, so the car dragged her. It crashed, and Tyne was pinned between the door and the tree.
Just 6 months ago, Newport News Chief Steve Drew congratulated new officer E.O.W.
Communications to all units. Please be advised that the procession for Officer Tyne has arrived in our city.
But Saturday, he joined his city, thanking her for his selfless
your
watch.
friend's been shot by a man on a traffic stop. You spend the whole night searching for the killer.
Thank you for your service. In the watch, January 23rd.
Holding back tears, people were on as every law enforcement agency in Hampton Roads is stopped by Officer Tyne's assigned South precinct.
And we'll go out with the smile.
Dude, stop! Get your hands up! Come on!
Now here's that confrontation again. This is from the other officer's body camera. Police returned fire, and the suspect, who we now know as Bruce Lua, was hit in the leg but survived. Both of the injured officers are also okay, and in fact, they were saluted as they left the hospital later that day.